Katrina Anderson. I am here prepping for my final exam for my class here at Stratford University and for my dish, and this is for my menu planning class. And so let me just first of all just start off by saying I kind of switched my menu up a little bit, and that's just based off the information that I was reading in my book. As you can see here, I have a lot of different things here, but for starters, my menu was going to be roasted Cornish hen with a wild rice stuffing and with cream brulee. But as we went on in the course, they were basically talking about how we need to eat more healthier, and as you can see, I most definitely need to do that. But what I wanted to do was kind of tweak my recipe a little bit and try to do something a little bit more healthy, health conscious, as well as being mindful that even though we may have it in our mindset how we want our menus to be, we want to be able to serve everybody. So everybody may not be able to eat the same thing. A lot of people are really conscious about what it is they're eating, their calorie intake, and so forth, and eating better and cleaner and greener. So instead of, I still, for my assignment for today, for my final exam, I still am going to do the roasted hen. I did a little research, so I'm going to try to do it a little differently. Instead of using as much salt, I have some fresh herbs here. I have some basil and some fresh parsley. I was going to get some thyme. The thyme didn't look good. So what I have here is some orange juice that I have here, as well as with a little Worcestershire sauce. And I do have a little kosher sauce, but I most definitely have some of my pepper and the onion powder and garlic powder, which will kind of cut off on the salt a little bit. So what I plan on doing is kind of making myself a somewhat of a pesto sauce, but not with all of the ingredients of the pesto sauce, but just my own kind of marinade to actually cook the Cornish hen in. And I don't have a roaster, so I'm a baker. I am in culinary at Stratford for baking and pastry arts. So what I have is a cake pan here. I did a little research, and they said you could, when you're baking your chickens or whatever, if you don't want the fats and all the oils and stuff to just sit in the chicken, you can actually use the fluted pan and just have the chicken set on top, and all of the juices, instead of it just sitting at the bottom of the chicken, it can actually flow down to the bottom. If you want to use it for a basting, you can, but you don't necessarily have to, especially when you're talking about watching the calories. So I'll be using this for my Cornish hen. The assignment basically states that we have to have a 3-course meal, which consists of a starter, your main dish with 2 sides, and a dessert. What I am going to do for my starter is that I'm going to do a mozzarella asparagus salad. For my salad, I decided to go away from the regular lettuce and romaine lettuce and to just kind of focus on kale. The reason why I chose kale, because it's more nutrients in it. It basically is good for you. It's a darker green, and which, as the assignments went on, it was telling us that it's a lot healthier to go green and allow a lot of colors in your food. So I'm going to basically go with that. We're going to go with a basic vinaigrette with that, which is a pretty simple recipe for that. I have my olive oil and my spices, and we're going to have I will dice some mozzarella and the tomatoes. For the asparagus, what I'm going to do, you may hear the water boiling a little bit, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually cook them a little bit, and then I'm going to I guess they call it blanching. So I'm going to cook them, and then I'm going to shock them in some ice water to kind of stop the cooking process so it can still keep that color. But then I'm going to also saute it a little bit, and then set it to the side, and then I'll add it to my salad. To go with my Cornish hen, I am going to saute some fresh spinach in a little bit of oil, just a very little bit, not even a teaspoon. I mean, not even a tablespoon, maybe even a teaspoon, because it doesn't take a lot. And I'm going to, with my spinach, I'm going to add a little flavoring of nutmeg to that. That's going to be one of my sides. And then Another one of my sides I'm going to have is the I have the squash. I have the green squash, I have the yellow squash, and I have some carrots, which I will actually be using the same blanching technique. And as far as my dessert, I also have sweet potatoes boiling. I am going to do a sweet potato casserole with a little touch. Instead of using sugar, I'm going to try to use pure raw honey with that. And then we're going to go from there. So I'm going to go ahead and get everything going. As you can see, my son is in the background. He's requiring some attention. So I'm going to go ahead and get everything going here. You get a look at what all we're doing here. And I'll have some step-by-step process here for you. And once I get everything going here, I'll get my chicken in, and then I'll allow you to see me prep my salad. Thank you.